Привет, ребята, и добро пожаловать на урок русского языка с Language Nerd. Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to have a look at 5 reasons why you actually should learn Russian language. Now I'm going to talk about professional as well as social reasons that will show you that learning Russian language will actually be very beneficial for you, and this will probably help you with the motivation on keep on going or even just starting learning this beautiful language. Okay, let's start with our number 5 reasons. So what you should learn Russian language. Well, our number 5 reason is that it will engage your brain. And as you know, learning a new language actually helps with your brain activity. And this means because Russian language is actually further away and it's less similar to an English language or Spanish language because it is part of a Slavic language group, means that your brain is going to be extremely engaged when you will be learning this beautiful language. Our number 4 reason is that if you're learning Russian language, it means that you'll be able to get to know Russian people and its culture. And it means that your visit to Russia is going to be a lot more pleasant. Because trust me, if you're not speaking any Russian at all when visiting Russia, your visit is going to be so much different if you would speak Russian. As well as you'll be able to get to know people, you'll be able to actually make some friends. And of course, you might change your perception of Russian. There is a bit of a negative stereotype that Russians are very cold, conservative, and they don't smile. That might seem true on the outside, but if you get in the inner circle, you'll see a completely different picture. And that might be actually a good motivation for you to learn Russian language. Our number 3 reason is that you'll be able to find the work a lot easier if you can speak Russian, because if you can see from the trends that there are a lot more companies nowadays that are requiring people to speak Russian or being able to communicate in Russian. There is also a fact that Russians don't speak much English, and that's why interpreters and translators are the ones that are basically required to be able to communicate with the Russian market. Our second reason is, of course, that with learning Russian language, you'll be able to learn more about its culture and its complexity. And you will actually be glad to know that Russian culture is not about learning about the classics. It's not only about Dostoevsky and Tolstoy, not only about Tchaikovsky. There is a lot more to discover about the Russian culture, because in Western media, it's usually kind of, when it's cited about Russian culture, they always cite the same names over and over again. And if you learn Russian language, you'll be able to discover a lot more. And remember, of course, it's a bit more complex to understand it because it's like in between the Asia and Europe. So you have like a fusion between the Eastern and Western culture present. And our number 1 reason is that Russian language is actually the 6th most widely spoken language in the world, which means that you'll be able to communicate not only with the people that live in Russia, but also outside Russia. As you probably can imagine, that will be mostly the countries that used to be part of the USSR. So the language is still widely spoken there and people still can understand it. So if you're traveling to that part of the world, Central Asia, for example, you'll be able to kind of communicate in Russian as well. And remember that Russian is also official language of the UN and other worldwide organizations, so meaning that you can potentially find an employment in those world organizations if you're interested, of course. I hope I have convinced you to start learning Russian, of course, if you haven't started yet, so make sure that you check this 2 lessons to get you going, and see you in my next one. До следующего раза. Пока-пока!